Alright folks, welcome back. This is Balatro, every day, and today I've got my business socks. It's business time. 28 win streak so far on the gold stake. Can we complete 2 full rotations? Can we beat the black deck? Well, first we gotta sort out the recycling. This is not part of the foreplay, but it is still important. Green deck, here we go. We don't need the economy tag for only $4. Let's play out the first round. We have 3 5s. I could go for a full house. It would have to be a pair of face cards. I could go for hearts, though these hearts are not necessarily the winning set of hearts. I could go for clubs instead. Let's try clubs. Okay, one more time clubs. That's not great. We can play a pair of aces. We can play clubs. This wins. Used 2 discards and 2 hands, so we get $4 here. That's okay, I guess. Burglar could be cool, but it's a rental. It pays for itself, right? If you get 3 hands, that's extra money on the green deck. We could take the buffoon pack here. Probably that's something that we want. If we get something that helps us score, then we can win with less hands, and if with less hands we get more money. We probably take the red card. Alright, that's it. Fool. Probably we take a fool. There's so many good things that we could do with a fool. Alright, all we have to do is survive. We could take the Mega Arcana pack here, and then we have something to do with the Fool right away. With the Mega Arcana pack, we can take one, skip one. I'm just going to play out this round. That's okay. So, I can look for spades. Okay. How about let's play these spades and keep the 9s. Okay, is this a straight? Okay. Pay $3 for the rental, we get $8 from the extra hands. Now $9, that seems pretty good. Alright, I think I want some mult on the red card. As I said before, if we get mult on the red card, the mult will help us win in fewer hands. So between these 2 booster packs, let's try Arcana first. Hermit gives me $5. I think I'd rather have the Molt. Then let's go Celestial also. We don't benefit from interest, so we might as well. And then we can just skip. Alright, with +6 Molt, we should be fine. Here we can play 2 pair. With +6 Molt, I don't think that's enough, but it's halfway there. We could play a pair of kings. We could go for spades as a flush. Nope. A pair. Let's see. Does that give me 150? I don't feel like doing the math. It's like 22 times 8. So that should be enough. Okay. Burglar money. Okay. Death is something that we can copy with the Fool. That's pretty exciting. Take a buffoon pack. I need something that gives me points. I have 2 Eternals, so I'll skip. Could take an Arcana pack. I think I'm going to take the Death card and not open the Arcana pack. We can play a pair of 8s. We can go for spades. With +9 Molt, I'm going to go for spades. I'm going to go for the flush. Okay, one more time. Spades. Ugh. spades. Every hand is costing me $2. This is very painful. I guess I could have used the death card, and then that could have given me money from using the death card and saving my hands. Let's go Celestial. I'm looking for a Mercury card. If I don't get Mercury, I can skip. Can't afford a Celestial pack, so let's go next. I'm not going to take 3 of a kind. What I want to do is I want to open a standard pack and then use the death to copy an interesting card. What counts as interesting? I don't know yet. All we need to do is get hearts here. One more time, hearts. Wait, this is a straight? Bummer. So I have a flush. Alright, one more round on the burglar. Saturn or Earth. Now we have those standard packs. I don't think I want to go back in time. We lose a hand and then we get less money, so let's go standard packs. We get a blue ace, and this other standard pack has purple seal 10. We can skip. Alright, that's it. Burglar, we can sell. Alright, all I gotta do is find that blue seal ace, kind of. I guess it's a little bit more complicated than that. Because if I play pairs, I don't think the pairs win with 15 molt. Maybe. 300. I guess it depends on the quality of the pair. If I can get pairs that don't have debuffs. Like this pair of 2s is pretty terrible. Okay, I can play a pair of 9s. That's better. Okay, so pair of queens and pair of aces, that wins. We can play the 2 pair. Trying to get the blue seal. Yeah, 25 cards in the deck. I can throw away 2 hands, straight up throw away 2 hands as a chance of getting the blue seal. I don't think that's what I want to do. Save my hands for money. Alright, 14 bucks. We can take temperance. Nope. Erosion. Nope. Standard packs. Maybe. 3,000 points is a little bit tougher, so let's go standard packs. Easy skip. Standard pack again. Purple seal, we can skip. Okay, so maybe 20 molt, maybe we're fine. So how about a pair of 9s? Let's play 2 pair. Okay, we can play a flush. A flush is not 2,000 points, I don't think. I prefer if this doesn't win. Okay. I can win with a pair of 5s. I'm going to discard to find the blue seal. Okay. So, what do I want to turn into the blue seal? Boss says my clubs are going to be debuffed. How would we go? 2 6s? I don't know. I want to do 2 cards of the same rank, because if I have 2 cards of the same rank, then it becomes easier for me to get pairs. We just avoid 6s. We can play the pair of kings here. Alright. Now we're good. We got the blue seals. We got the red card. We got the level 3 pairs. Could take Sly Joker for chips. It's eternal, which is not great, and maybe it's not good if we're doing the blue seals. Alright, we don't benefit from interest, but I don't like to open Arcana packs unless I have at least 20 bucks, because you could get a hermit. Let's just save our money. We don't need to purchase anything here. since we got the level ups, the pairs are actually fine now. So we can play a pair of 8s. We can follow up with a pair of 5s. Pair of 9s, and then the queens will win. So we have enough blue seals where it's probably profitable to discard and try to get one more blue seal in hand. It's worth trying. So there's 2 out of 25 cards. I get to see 5 and then ship it. So we lost $2. We used 2 discards, but we got an extra planet card. Okay. We can take a Spectral Pack. Spectral Pack first before the Buffoon Pack because you could get Hex. We could Immolate is pretty good. I guess Hex here is pretty good. Immolate's pretty good, Hex is pretty good. Yeah, I think this is one of those rare scenarios where Hex is better than Immolate. Hashtag rare. Alright. I have a bunch of Eternals here. Probably I don't want the bus, Eternal Bus. I guess we can skip it and go next. Okay. Parajacks. See, now I get 4,000 for a pair. So the next pair wins. I would like to find at least 1 blue seal. I can try for a second one and ship it with a pair of aces. $9, we could pick up a rocket, we could pick up a vampire. Rocket for sure. I would like to get the grabber, so let's not take anything else, let's just go next. Pair of 7s. The next pair wins. We can get a pair of queens. No blue seal. So we could play high card ace here and then dig for a blue seal. This costs $2. Worth it. Okay. Sorry, what was the boss? Boss says first hand face down. Okay. Seems fine. Alright, $3. We could take a hermit. I think we do take the hermit, but okay, I want to be able to afford the grabber. How do we do that? We can start by playing a pair of 9s. The next pair wins. So I think if I want to get the grabber, I'm not going to discard here. I'm just going to save my money. Ah, bummer. Not quite enough. That's okay. Okay. So $9 takes me to 12. I could take the grabber now. I could be a little bit greedy with the hermit. I think I'm just gonna use it now. Take the grabber. Maybe I go Arcana looking for a fool. Yes. Okay. Now we get the grabber. Celestial Pack we can skip. Now that we have the blue seals, we just skip every Celestial Pack. I don't benefit from interest, but maybe I don't want to reroll. Maybe I do want to reroll. If I get more points, I can win in fewer hands. Alright, that's it. Alright, first hand face down. We can use discards. We can play a pair of 2s. Okay. I don't see a pair here. What's this? If I sort by suit? That's spades. This is not spades. So this is not, for example, it can't be my ace of spades. So let's discard. Okay. Pair of aces if I need it. Alright. We only need a pair twice. So let's play the pair of 4s. And I could play a pair of aces, but I don't want to break the glass card. So let's try to get one more ace here. Pair of 9s, that works. Alright, we shouldn't have to worry about that anymore. Just that first hand was awkward. We had the face down cards. Should be fine on pairs now. Okay, strength helps. Get the boss reroll. Let's go buffoon. For ramen, it's perishable, but I'm into it. Celestial packs we can skip. We can take strength to turn kings into aces. Boss says spades are debuffed. I might re-roll that if it's gonna, well, maybe what that means is I get to play my glass cards and I don't have to worry about them breaking. Let's start on a pair of 8s. Okay, the next pair wins. I'm looking for an opportunity to use the strength on kings. Ramen, since it is perishable, I don't mind discarding. It's fine. Okay. I didn't get the strength opportunity. I'm still going to use it. So let's use it on 3s. And then now I can get pairs of 4s, I guess. Alright, next round we should be able to win in 2 hands. Ancient Joker, nope. Celestial Pack, skip. Standard Pack, looking for money. Nope. Okay, go next. Okay, we can play a pair of 5s. We can play a pair of 9s. That's it. I am going to need replacement for my ramen in the future. Some other kind of X-Molt. We could use Fool for a Mercury card. That's fine. I could pick up a green Joker here. Maybe it's too late for the green Joker. We already have 36 on the red card. How about this buffoon pack? We could take one, skip one. We could square up here. I think I like the idea of taking Huesos. So basically this gives us ×4 molt against the final boss. Alright, here I'm okay with my spades being debuffed. I think my pairs are strong enough. I actually... No, let's discard. I was going to say maybe we don't discard. But ramen's perishable, so there's no penalty to discarding. Okay, aces, that's it. $5 from the rocket. Nice. Okay, we could take a showman and try to get more ramen. I don't think showman is the move. Standard pack. Fancy king, red seal king. Yeah, maybe it's a lucky card. Nah. We just want the blue seals. That's it. It's just red card plus blue seals. That's it. Easy W. Go next. Boss says diamonds are debuffed. That's fine. Here we play a pair of 7s. We can play a pair of 5s. We can discard first, looking for the blue seals. We can play a pair of aces. 2 more rounds on my ramen. $11. Cool. Alright. Arcana first in case we get money. Like a hermit. Otherwise we can skip. Standard pack we can skip. Gold seal 3 is tempting, but I only have 2 3s in the deck, so I won't be able to pair it. So we'll skip. Go next. We can play pair of 7s. We can play a pair of 4s. We could discard first. Pair of jacks. Ship it. Alright, ramen's done. Alright, let's sell the ramen in case there's another ramen in the shop. Maybe, maybe, maybe. $15 cash out. Okay. Hallucination is decent. Money generator. We go Arcana first. Alright, we could make a blue gold card. That's probably worth doing. I could use death here to just copy the blue seal. Rather than making money, just make more blue seals. That's probably worth it. So I can drop a 6 here. I can drop a 2. How about turn the 2? Okay. Standard pack we can skip. We could pick up another blue ace. I'll take the reroll surplus. Alright. Here we're going to need like 4 pairs. It's going to take a lot of hands. We don't have the ramen anymore. Okie dokie. We can play a pair of 9s. We can play... this is not... There's no pairs here. But we do have extra 4s in the deck. Wait, we have equal amounts of 4s and kings, so... Discard. We can play a pair of kings. I can play a pair of 2s. I have an extra... We can go 8s. Nice. Alright, $15 cash out. The boss. Discard random cards, that's okay. Alright. Clearance sale. I can take a blue 3. I can skip for the red card. I think we probably have enough blue seals. Probably if we have 5 hands, we can draw 2 blue cards. So I'm going to skip here actually, so that we can make sure we get enough molt on the red card. And extra discard is extra money on the green deck. Let's go next. Hierophant. Okay. Probably I use Hierophant on my 4s, since it's easier for me to pair my 4s. I can play a pair of kings for 40,000. Okay. The next pair wins. Let's discard for blue seals. One more discard. We might be in a position now. There's 4 blue seals in the deck. Let's play high card. We get $7 from the rocket, so it's okay if we burn a few extra hands. That's it. Okay, madness. Feels a little bit too late for the madness, to be honest. Though, currently the only thing that gives us points is red card. That's it. We're round 19 is ante 7. We've got one joker that gives us points. Maybe we take Madness. Though Huesos does give us multi against the boss. Yeah, you know what? Let's skip for the red card. I think I'm going to take Madness, and if I am going to take Madness, I think I'm going to sell the Drunkard. Alright, we can go use the Hermit. I could sell all of these and then use the Hermit, or I could take the risk of Madness destroying something. Yeah, use the Hermit. Go standard pack, we can skip. So Madness, I can grow once here and then 2 in the next 2 rounds. And that'll be enough. Go next. Bummer. We lose the money, but we convert it into points. Right? Aces here is awkward. Alright. We can play a pair of aces. We can keep the jack. We can keep the 4. Chip it. Okay. We can play the pair of 7s. I'm going to throw away the glass ace because I don't want it to break. We can play this pair of aces. Alright, we got a rental. That's okay. We could get the Card Shark. Maybe Card Shark instead of Madness. That sounds safer. I'll be honest, that sounds just safer, straight up. Alright, Celestial Pack we can skip. Standard Pack we can skip. Fool for Mercury, that's fine. Go next. Pair of 8s. Nice. Pair of 5s. One blue seal. Hey, that's great. $13 cash out. Okay. Hey, look, it's a scholar. Boss says Jimbo's face down. Okay, let's take liquidation. $2 buffoon packs. We can skip. Trading card. It's a little late for a trading card, but it makes my temperance better. Look at that. Plus $6. Huge. Go next. Alright. I can snap off a 6. I can play a pair of kings, keeping the 4s because I have extra 4s in the deck. I can dig for aces, find those aces. Well, not this ace, but the blue seals. Hey, where are the blue seals at? Does this win? I think it does. So let's go for the blue seal. There you go. Play the 4s. Ship it. Alright, Mercury. Too late for the bull. Devil's kind of fun. Standard pack we can skip. Celestial pack we can skip. Okay. 7 or 8. I can delete a queen if I want. I can play the pair of 4s first. Let's play the pair of 4s first. Okay. Now we can snap off a 3 or a 2. Okay. How about we play this pair of aces? We can turn glass into gold. Just for 1 round. And ship it. Ah, bummer. So, another 4? We can Is this high card gonna be too much? Okay. Okay, pair of nines. Ship it. That's it. Mercury cards. Don't need the fist. Arcana we can skip. Arcana 2 we can skip again. We can re-roll. Spin the wheel. Ah, bummer. Photograph gives me plus 30 molt, so I guess we can do one of those. We could take Michelle here. We could get a baseball card instead of this hallucination. Okay. And then go next. So, alright. We have Eternal red card we can put over here. This is our photograph, we know, because it's not eternal. If you've been watching me for a long time, you know I've made that joke before. Pair of queens. Okay. And you know what? Let's get some juicy aces. Alright. Pair of aces. Senor Huesos gets to live. Alright, easy peasy. Polychrome red card. We made it through like 3/4 of the run. We made it until like ante 7 or ante 6 already with just the red card for scoring. That's it. That's all you need. A couple of blue seals, I guess, help. That feels illegal. That shouldn't be. You shouldn't be able to do that. Especially with pairs. Such a low ranking hand. Shouldn't be able to get away with that. Alright, maybe we won't get away with it. Maybe black deck this time. Here we go. We have a boss, which is not so bad. Okay. We have some skip tags, which we're not interested in. We have 3 5s and 2 7s. That full house doesn't win. I can try to go for a 10 or a king. Or we can commit to... If I play this full house, then I guaranteed win in 2 hands. Do I want to take a chance on winning in 1? Okay, I need a 10 or a king or an ace. I have 9 possible outs here. Easy. All of that risk for an extra $1. It could matter. Okay, there are some $6 jokers that you can't buy with $5. Okay, gelato's not one of them. I don't want the rental gelato. Kind of expensive for a gelato. We could take Droll, we could take Arrowhead. I'm going to take Arrowhead. Arrowhead will get the job done for a short time as a perishable. Okay, we can go dig for some spades. One more time, spades. Okay. Looking for some source of plus molt. Giga Chad is good with the Arrowhead. Giga Chad is good in general. Sure. Save my money. What I need to do is I need to find plus molt as soon as possible. So what is the path that gives me the plus molt? We save money in the next shop. If we don't see plus molt, we reroll. Here we can dig for spades again. We have the flush. That's it. That will continue to work for the next 2 rounds if we want to save our money for interest. So I could use World to make more spades, but Arrowhead is going to leave and maybe we're going to pivot to something else. So maybe I'm not super interested in taking the World card. Greedy Joker is good with the Giga Chad. We can re-trigger Greedy Joker. I would like to do something different, but maybe on the black deck we don't get to be that picky. Maybe that's the lesson. So let's take the greedy joker. Let's take the mega buffoon. That's got to be better than playing the small blind. We have a bunch of eternals. I think eternal abstract. I think abstract is good enough to take as an eternal, and I think Northern Lion here with no debuffs is pretty good. All right, we should be. If I just play a pair of 9s, we get 100 chips from the arrowhead. Actually, 150 chips from the arrowhead, and we got 15 molt from abstract joker. So a pair of 9s wins here, straight up. I could play 2 pair. A little bit extra molt from the greedy joker. I can play a full house. This is overkill. What's the boss situation? Only one hand type? I mean, we might only need one hand. Right, so we're good for the next 2 rounds. Next 2 rounds are free. We could take the photograph to go with the Chad. That's very good. That's very good. It doesn't really do much right now, but long term that could be very good. Overstock is probably very good. Overstock is probably worth selling the egg. We can sell greedy joker instead. Actually. Take overstock. I want to keep the egg because I want to keep the money generator. Let's go next. Okay. How about a full house? We have spades. We can re-trigger the spades. We have abstract joker, so this wins. If it doesn't win, then we're boned because we can't play a second full house. So it better work. Okay. We get the red card, we get the free roll here, we have overstock. All of these things, very good things. Boss says play only one hand. Okay, I mean, that's fine. Alright, so what's the move? Ultimately, what's the move? I think red card is a solid long-term plan. Okay, we can't afford anything else. Can't take the free roll here. Go next. So I'm gonna discard for spades. I can make a spade flush. I can totally make a spade straight. Straight wins. Arrowhead's done. I'm gonna sell it. Give me another arrowhead. We get a Mercury card. So if you are playing on the black deck with only 3 hands, maybe pairs is not very safe. But you know, we got the photograph, we got the Chad, we could make it work. We could make it work. I could open Arcana pack and gamble for a Temperance card. I think I am going to open the Arcana pack. We either get Temperance or Hermit. So Hermit, I can just sell the egg and take 14 bucks here. Then I can buy a second Arcana pack. I can use a Fool for a Hermit, and we can skip for the red card. Yes. Let's go Hermit, Mercury. Okay. Glutinous Joker is okay with the Giga Chad. I guess we could do better. Overstock. We get Sly if we want to play pairs. Okay. Satellite, probably I'm not interested in keeping. Do I want to pick up Glutinous Joker here? Just to be safe? Or keep the money for interest? Go next. Alright. We have the leveled up pairs. We can discard for Pairs of face cards. So like pair of kings, for example. King of clubs, for example. Ship it. If you order the jokers like this, glutinous goes first and then photograph goes second. If you didn't know. Alright, Mercury for sure. Do you want Arcana also? We can go Arcana first. In case we get a Hermit. We could get a Hung Man here. We could skip for the red card. I think long term, if I do level up the pairs and we do the photo chat stuff, maybe then I don't need the red card as much. So actually I'm going to hang him here. I think the aces, we can hang him. Hierophant is pretty good with the Chad. We just hang him. Alright, take the Mercury card. I will try a Spectral Pack. Red Seal on a face card for the photograph. I mean, that seems fine. So, I don't know, how about diamonds? I think there's a pretty good case for aura there. If you hit foil for the extra chips, that's probably the worst. If you hit the extra molt from the holographic, that could be good. Polychrome, of course, the best, but I think red seal to go with the photograph is probably best. We can also, this doesn't have to be, this could be a red gold card, could be a red steel card. Do I want Seeing Double? Probably you want Seeing Double. As just X molt. Okay. Do I want Rebate? With only 2 discards as an Eternal? I think we don't do that. I think Slide Joker I still keep. Maybe we ditch the red card. Maybe this build says no more red card. Let's go next. Alright. I have a pair of 5s, which I can retrigger. I would like to find a pair of face cards. So should we just play the pair, which we know wins? Yeah. Pair of 5s. Could play 3 5s. Pair is better. Alright. Ship it. Okay, Supernova for pairs. Smiley face. What's the boss situation? Face down after played. Okay. Okay. Scary face is of course good with the Chad. Do I want Scary face? Nah, we're good. We're good. Just save our money for interest. We can get a pair of jacks here. We can get a pair of kings. So pairs of face cards are best because we have the photograph. I guess that was about the same. Without the face cards, if we get Seeing Double with clubs, because you can retrigger the clubs. I need more Mercury cards. I forgot Glutinous Joker first. Alright. Yeah. Okay. Let's go Arcana. Costs us $1 of interest. It's a $5 Arcana pack, but I think it's worth it for an Arcana pack. We can hang them again. So just remove the low cards, 3 and 4. We can hang them. And go next. Alright, so here we're good with... We could play a pair of clubs. Trying to get... Okay, this pair wins for sure. Yes. We get the bull for chips. I can replace Sly Joker. I probably want Celestial Pack. Let's go Celestial Pack first. That'll give me information. I have the Mercury card. Yeah, let's do it. Pick up the bull. In that case, do we open the standard pack? Probably not. Let's go next. Brainstorm here, it's a perishable, so obviously it's very strong right now, but eventually it's going to perish. I don't think it's worth 10 bucks for a perishable when we don't need it. I think for 5 rounds we're fine without taking this, so why spend the money? Okay. I have jacks. Okay. So red seal in front. Ship it. That's it. Okay. Foil Constellation. We're getting to the point where maybe we don't need Glutinous Joker anymore if I can just play Paris. Or sorry, if I could just play face cards. I think we take Constellation. Well, I mean, for sure we take Constellation. The question is, like, what do we get rid of? The question is it safe to get rid of Glutinous Joker here? And I think the answer is yes. Okay. Taking Uranus here is bad for the bull, but maybe it's better long-term for the Constellation. I could square up here, take the square Joker instead of the bull. I don't think that's necessary. I think the bull's going to be fine. We could take the Magician. We could replace the bull. Go next. So, would you look at that? All right. Pair of jacks. No money. Never lucky. Not even one time lucky. We can take a Spectral Pack. We can go Mega Arcana first. Try to get money. I'm into that. Mega Arcana for money. Didn't get the money. We could try an Emperor. Still didn't get the money. That's okay. Wheel or Judgment? Maybe now is the point where we sell the bull and we take Judgment. Accept Judgment. I'm taking the Judgment here because I can convert it into money if I need to. Let's try the Spectral Pack. So, do we want the minus hand size? I don't think we need an extra Joker slot. I think that's greedy to try to do that. We are playing pairs, and pairs are pretty easy to play. Even with the -1 hand size, you can still play pairs pretty convincingly. But maybe what we do is we do the red seal on king instead. Red seal, king of diamonds. Sure. Okay, I would like to get these planet cards for the Constellation, or maybe we save our money first, save our money for interest. Could take the business card. Retrigger with the Chad. Yeah, probably. So I guess, like, if I have Photograph plus Constellation, that's probably enough points. That's a winning build. So maybe the thing that I want right now is just money. Yeah, we could take the business card. If they had the business card, do we want to grow the Constellation? Nah, let's save our money for interest. Alright, so basically we just discard until we find face cards, that's it. So there are some face cards. We can make some molt cards, play the queens. Yas. Okay. No on the cola. We go Arcana for money first. Get the Hermit. Then we go Celestial. We missed. So, I don't know. 2 pair. Do I want this blank voucher? I don't see why not. Go next. I think I'm going to need 2 hands here. Okay. How about these 2 jacks for the money? Again. Bummer. I only got to play 1 pair. That's rude. Bartolomeo instead of Constellation. Bartolomeo instead of Photograph. Boss says playing a pair is going to take all my money. I don't have enough lucky cards for Bartolomeo. I think we'll just stick with the Constellation. Okay. Strength. Wee Joker we don't need. Yeah. Reroll surplus. Sure. Arcana. We can hang them again. We could take some planet cards for the Constellation. I think I'm just going to hang them so that we can draw our red seals more consistently. Cool. Standard pack we could do because we have the business card. Okay. Go next. I can keep a 10 and I can use a strength on 2 10s. Strength here. Cool. And then discard. Okay, so here's a pair of jacks. Supernova. No, but I'll take more lucky cards. We could take more clubs. More clubs is helpful if we're doing seeing double. Okay. Priestess, I don't have room for, so Queen and 10 here. I'm going to use the Magician. Do I want to use the Moon just right now? I guess. Kind of a waste of a moon, but I think it's worth it for the Constellation. Maybe I should have opened the Arcana pack first? I don't know, maybe it makes sense to buy the cards first still. Alright. 5 we can skip. Go next. Okay. What if we, instead of a pair, what if we play a full house? Because full house is more money. Yes. Okay, we can spin the wheel. Justice, maybe. Make a glass card, maybe. Good with the Chad. Let's go Spectral first. I have Cryptid, so if you wanted to, it's anti-6. We can make more of these kings. Yes. Ooh, Hermit for 20 bucks. Or do we want to hang him? Boss is going to take away my lunch money. Alright, you're right. We should hang him. Neptune for the Constellation. Neptune again. Pick up Uranus. We can make some more lucky cards. That's fun. I guess there's no reason not to reroll here. Go next. I guess we don't have the boss reroll. Okay, so I don't think I want to play the Glass King. Not if I don't have to. I'm gonna play these jacks. This doesn't win because we don't have seeing double. Okay, actually that does very little, to be honest. I need to draw clubs, right? So I need to draw a jack of clubs. Maybe I will keep the kings just in case. All right, so this pair wins for sure. Ship it. Yes. Okay, Burnt Joker is kind of what I want, actually, so that we can get more base molt on our pairs. Boss says my diamonds are going to be debuffed. That's okay. Let's just save our money for interest. I need to hit with the business card. So I can play these jacks, and if we hit the plus 20 on the lucky cards, then it could be enough points. If we don't, then we can discard. Okay. Let's draw a king here. Okay, so kings. We have seeing double. Sure. Okay. Wait a second. I'm questioning whether or not the queens here are going to be enough. Let's play these kings just to be safe. Yeah, the base molt really isn't high enough. Basically, I think if we don't hit the glass, we lose, which is kind of spooky, but easy to fix. Okay, standard pack. Get another glass king. King of clubs, that's huge. Alright, good thing we use the hung men. Good thing we remove the cards from our deck so that we can actually draw our cards. See? Removing 2 cards, better than 20 bucks. Alright. Buffoon pack. Probably I shouldn't have looked. Alright. What I need to do is grow my constellation. I need to get the Mercury cards. Okay. We go one more. So Mercury first. Okay. Then we go Priestess for another Mercury card. Okay. If not, take this other stuff. Alright, I could play 2 pair instead of pair. So one thing we could do is we could just skip to the boss, because we have enough to win right now, and if the glass cards break, we might not have enough to win in the future. So maybe there's a reason to play it out. Or sorry, skip to the boss. I'm not going to do that. Alright, let's play Queen. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, see, that's fine. I can play these lucky jacks. We get the plus 20s on the lucky cards. That's huge. Okay, Hierophant? Maybe. We don't have that many chips. We don't actually have that high level. I think I'm going to stop taking standard packs at this point. I think I just want planet cards. Well, maybe if you give me this much money, if you give me Temperance, you give me Hermit, maybe now I'll consider taking a standard pack. Blue Seal 8? That's probably what we want, but maybe it's kind of late. I'm only going to be able to get 2 or 3 planet cards out of it. I'm going to skip. Could get a stone card, holographic stone card for extra chips. Nah, just stick with the face cards. Death card here on the Glass King means we're probably safe through to the end. Crystal Ball is great. Priestess, okay. I can take the Priestess here and then go next. Okay, my diamonds are debuffed. Let's play... I'm gonna play this Glass King. Yeah, what I was gonna say is, okay, let's make a bonus card. Let's copy this king with the death card. Use the priestess. Planets for the constellation. Alright, so this pair wins. We could make it 4 of a kind if you want. 4 of a kind has higher base molt. If I play the 4 of a kind. Doesn't have as many chips, but has higher base molt. Alright, ship it. Nice. We get Senor Huesos. Boss says I'm gonna have face down jonklers. Bummer. Alright. Celestial Pack, we can pick up Uranus. So Celestial Pack again, we can pick up Mercury. Maybe you're supposed to take Uranus there, since we already have a higher level. Senor Huesos does a ×4 molt compared to Constellation is only ×3 molt. Spin the wheel. Ah, bummer. No planets. Yeah. I don't know. Alright. Definitely the safe thing to do here is just skip to the boss. But where's the fun in that? We can play a pair of queens. Lucky queen for some money. Ah, bummer. Alright. Arcana packs we can reroll first. Take a Jupiter card. Jupiter, go one more. Magician. Lovers works. We can make clubs for seeing double, right? I can use the Magician now on the king. I can use the death card to copy the king. We can just hang him. We have enough kings. We'll just hang him. Arcana. So here I can make another glass king. We can use the moon actually if we want to make clubs. We can make these 3 into clubs. That seems cool. I think this king wants to be lucky, maybe? Maybe glass? Alright. Go one more. Take Mars. Get the hungman. Alright. 8s and 6s, hang them. Alright, these kings, let's go lucky. Okay. Let me check it out here. Sure. So, yeah, no, why don't we play 4 of a kind, seems fun. Ship it. Hey look, it turns out you can in fact break them. They are breakable. Did you know that? We can take a Mars card here. Venus. We can go wheel. Holographic seeing double, sure. Standard pack. Blue seal, nah. Square. Emperor. Chariot and Priestess. Alright, we probably don't need the Lovers anymore. Alright, take the Venus. And then go next. Oh no, I got the face down Jokers. I wonder what this is. Alright. So this pair, or sorry, this queen we can discard. Okay. This queen we can discard. Okay, we got a bunch of jacks. I guess that's it. So steal jack, use the priestess. One, two, three, four, five. Here's a full house. Level 1 full house. Bummer. Ship it. Dang, really? Really no earth cards? Just level 1 full house? Alright. I guess 11 million points with the full house. Okay. That's it. That's 30. That's 2 full rotations. Ending on the black deck. 30 win streak on the gold stake. Okay. We played pairs. We played pairs for a little while. Pairs, it's relatively easy for us to put together for the seeing double. And of course with the Chad and the photograph here, you just need any hand, basically. Of course, better if you have more base molt. So maybe looking at this here, maybe flushes would have been very good. Could have played a flush. Has high base molt that we can retrigger. But definitely the pair or the 2 pair is good enough if we've got things like red seal and glass cards. So here I think we got particularly lucky. I got particularly lucky. 1, getting the red seal, that was a great hit. We got red glass, that was a great combo. Then we got the cryptid on the red glass, that was a great combo. So all of those things, you know, very lucky sequence of events, to be completely honest. We ended on 41 cards, which is very few cards in the deck. Got pretty lucky with the tarot cards, being able to build the deck that I wanted to build, though part of that comes from we've got the overstock extra shop slots. You can find whatever it is that you're looking for. Yeah, basically Abstract Joker was good at the time that we took it. It was important at the time that we took it, and then ends up not being relevant later. That's completely fine. Business card, we took relatively late for a business card, but we were allowed to do that because of how many points we were getting from our other Joker slots. And then of course it falls off in the end game. We got times 3.6 on the constellation, even with the double overstock and the money from the business card. Only 3.6 on the constellation, right? That's a normal amount of constellation. When people are saying, oh, the constellation's so much better than the vampire, so much better than hologram or whatever the other scaling X-Mult Jokers, they're thinking in this context of the blue seals. If you have the blue seals giving you extra planet cards, 3 times as many planet cards as you would normally have access to, compared to just shopping and opening booster packs and stuff like that, then of course Constellation in that overpowered blue seal universe is going to be overpowered as well. So once we rebalance the blue seal, once we fix the blue seal, then Constellation will come back down and it'll be more in line with the other scaling X-Mult Jokers. Photograph here is of course better when you have higher base molt. I already said that. So again, it's just kind of okay here, except when you get the blue seals, and the blue seals give you way too much base molt because you have way too high level hands. Then the photograph is off the charts incredible, but in general photograph is just okay. The thing that's great about the Chad is the baseline. You can always retrigger face cards, you can always retrigger aces and get plus 20 chips. That's it, just 20 chips. Early on, 20 chips is not great, but it's more than nothing. 20 chips combine this with some sorts of plus mult like the Abstract Joker, like this combo here, Giga Chad Abstract Joker, that's great early on. And then later on, what I like to do is gold seals with the Giga Chad, but gold seals are equal rarity to blue seals, so maybe you don't get the gold seals as much as you want to see them. What you can do instead, you can get lucky cards pretty easily. Lucky cards you can retrigger with the Giga Chad. Lucky card gives you money sporadically. It's a low chance of a high amount of money, but on average it's about $1. On average, maybe slightly more than $1. So Giga Chad is plus $2 per round. So Giga Chad giving us chips and giving us money and whatever other stuff that we might be able to do. Just a molt card here. Molt card that's going to be plus 8 molt from the Chad. Well, it's plus 20 chips and plus 8 molt. Like, that's pretty good. That's like scholar level of power. Or I think the bonus card's getting plus 60 chips. Then it's kind of acting like a blue joker, acting like not blue joker, but banner. So the Chad is a role player. The Chad is easy to fit into a lot of different situations. And then in the end game, you can, of course, do the glass cards. Let's take a look at the stats here. So red card, of course, dominant here. Why is red card so good? Red card works if you have a hand that you can play consistently and you have a hand that doesn't care so much about the contents of your deck, right? So if I'm playing pairs or if I'm playing high card, I don't really care that much about what's in my deck. So when there's booster packs, I can mostly just skip them. And then I can feed the red card that way. But what's powerful about the red card compared to the bus and compared to green joker? Red card compared to the green joker, one, you get access to your discards. So you can use your discards to find gold cards. You can use your discards to find blue seals. And being able to find gold cards while you're using the red card compared to when you're using the green joker, that then you actually get more money with the red card than you do with the green joker. People think of the red card as being expensive and costing you a lot of money. It doesn't cost you money. It saves you money. It earns you money by being able to use your discards and find those gold cards or your gold seals or your blue seals or whatever it is. Also with the red card, it grows faster. Plus 6 molt per round instead of plus 4 molt per round or plus 3 molt per round on the green joker or on the bus. It grows faster. Maybe in the early game, maybe you don't get to skip as many booster packs. Maybe you don't get to buy as many booster packs in the early game. And by early game, I mean just Ante 1 and Ante 2. But by the time you get to Ante 3, the red card will catch up quickly. And after it catches up, it will keep growing very quickly. And you can get to plus 90 molt with the red card in the end game. You can get plus 80 molt in the end game. It doesn't need to get that high, but it can get that high. Maybe if you just get plus 60 molt, that's fine. In 23 rounds, we skipped one, but normally it's 24 rounds, right? 8 antes is 24 rounds. In 24 rounds, you theoretically get to see 48 booster packs, or at least 45 booster packs. And if you skip maybe a third of those, right? So maybe 15 times 3 molt, that's 45 molt on the red card. That's solid. That's great. It just gets the job done. It's not glorious. It's not necessarily fun either. It just gets the job done. Whereas the Chad is actively fun. Bus has the drawback where you can't use the face cards. If you can't use the face cards, then of course there are jokers that reward you for playing face cards like the photograph. But it's not just about getting points from the face cards, it's also about getting value from the face cards. For example, the business card, money for playing face cards, or there's what is it? The reserved parking. Reserved parking gives you money for face cards. Also with the bus, if you're not able to play face cards, it makes it harder to get 5-card hands. Like if you're trying to play a flush, for example, okay, if I'm not allowed to play my face card hearts, then I have to make a flush with these remaining hearts. Maybe that seems difficult. Or maybe I try to make a straight without using the face cards. Maybe that seems difficult if I lock myself out of face cards. Whereas red card is that much more flexible. You can still make the 5-card hands if you want. You can still kind of freely make flushes with whatever cards. Constellation we already talked about. Hologram is, I think hologram is kind of okay. I guess hologram works in the situation where you are playing high card or pairs, where you again don't care about the contents of your deck if you're just playing pairs, and so it's fine if you just add anything to your deck. And so in that universe, then you could do the hologram. Comparing the hologram to the constellation, I think the hologram grows slower because you're somewhat dependent on the standard packs which don't come up all the time. And then, you know, maybe if you get, on average, you get 1 standard pack every 2 shops based on the probabilities. That's just kind of on average. Every 2 shops you get 0.25 molt, compared to with the constellation, you can get not just celestial packs, but you can also get random planet cards from just re-rolling in the shop. You can get Priestess, gives you 2 planet cards at a time. You can use Fool to copy planet cards. You can use Blue Seals to get you to cheat and get you extra planet cards that way. And so the constellation grows faster than the hologram. Usually grows faster than the hologram, though there are synergies where, like the certificate, for example. Certificate, again, like the hologram, is not going to be good in the situations where you're playing 5-card hands where you actually care about what's in your deck. So not going to be good in situations where you're playing flushes or straights or even 3 of a kind, maybe. Even two pair, I think the certificate and the hologram can be a little bit dangerous, but if I am just playing pair or high card, then I'll hold on to the certificate forever, basically. Same with the hologram. And then of course there's synergy there between these two kind of strong-ish jokers. I think the constellation, even though it grows faster than the hologram in theory, constellation is expensive. You have to pay. With hologram, it's $4 for a basic standard pack. With constellation, it's $3 per planet card. So 2 planet cards, that's $6 to get 0.2 molt, and $9 to get 0.3 molt, plus maybe some additional money re-rolling to actually find the planet cards. So it can be stronger, but it is more expensive, and you have to sort of wrestle with that, I guess, a little bit. Blue Joker and Square Joker. Blue Joker is ranked higher here. This just means when I had Blue Joker, I held it on, or I held on to it for longer, or maybe we take Blue Joker more often than we take Square Joker. Why is that? That's because Square Joker, I think if you see it in Ante 4 or later, that's probably too late to square up. That's probably too late to get any value out of the Square Joker, or get enough value out of the Square Joker. If you're at that point, if you're that late enough, you probably have high enough level hands where you don't need the chips. Not that the chips wouldn't help, you just don't need it. You have plenty of other things going on at that point. What's powerful about the Square Joker is the chips that you get, you can apply to any hand. So once you level up the Square Joker, if you combine this with any source of scaling plus molt, then now you're free to play whatever hand. You can play high card, you can play pairs. And that can be very useful against, you know, let's say the boss that says you can't repeat hand types or something like that. Blue Joker is, I guess, there's never any reason not to take the Blue Joker, right? Square Joker, sometimes you don't take it. Blue Joker, there's never any reason not to take it. But that's not saying that the Blue Joker is more powerful than the Square Joker. That's just saying that the Blue Joker, just because it doesn't start at 0, then it's going to be easier to pick up. But I think long term, the Square Joker is sufficiently powerful. I think it's very powerful, actually. If we compare it to the Burnt Joker, for example. Burnt Joker, the easiest thing to do with the Burnt Joker is discard pairs, and then you're getting plus 15 chips every round. Compared to Square Joker, you can hit the 16 chips. It's a little bit more work, and maybe that makes sense because Burnt Joker is a rare, very powerful rare, compared to Square Joker is just a common Joker, right? So, of course, the common is not going to be as strong as the Burnt Joker, but it is actually pretty close. Pretty close. The drawback of the Square Joker is if you want to keep the chips from the Square Joker, you have to hold on to it. Whereas the Burnt Joker, you can sell it after you've gotten enough upgrades. You can sell it. After you find your blue seal, you can sell your Burnt Joker and trade it in for some kind of X-Molt maybe. Blue Joker is one thing to be cautious about with the Blue Joker. When you play hands that contain too many cards, if you play 5-card hands, and by that I mean potentially like you play a pair with 3 extra cards, that's 5 cards. You draw cards, there's less cards in your deck. Blue Joker gets weaker. So if you're playing against the Psychic boss, for example, if you're really relying on Blue Joker for your chips, then it's tough. If you're playing too many cards, if you're drawing too many cards. Compared to Banner, you lose chips when you discard, but you don't lose chips when you play hands. So Blue Joker, you lose chips when you discard, but not as many chips as with the Banner, and you also lose chips when you play cards. So I think it's good enough to take early. I think it fits into any build, so there's no reason not to take it, but it does have its limitations. It does fall off in the same way that Square Joker falls off, or any other kind of chips jokers are going to fall off later on. Trading card, the thing to keep in mind about the trading card is each time you remove a card from your deck, it makes the next card removal more valuable. So what I mean by that is, let's say you have 5 cards in your deck. If I remove one of those 5 cards, I've removed 20% of my deck. That's a huge difference, right? Or if I have 5 cards in my deck and I turn one of my cards into gold, then I've made 20% of my deck into gold. That's a huge difference compared to if I have 50 cards and I remove one from 50 cards and go down to 49, that's not that big a difference. Or if I have 50 cards and I turn one into gold, that's not that big a difference. So the longer you keep the trading card, the more value it gives you. You get, instead of diminishing returns you get on all of this other stuff, you actually get more and more value each round from the trading card. Does that make sense? The less cards you have, the more valuable it is to keep removing more. And then if I get the trading card early, then that's a huge green light to me. If I can remove 5 cards from the deck, if I can remove 8 cards from the deck, that's enough. Then I can get perfect straights every time. I can get flush houses every time. I can get these hands which score enough points without using jokers, without using joker slots. So if I do get the trading card, I hold on to it forever. Even if you're just playing pairs, you can still dig for your gold cards. You can dig for your blue seals more easily when you have less cards in your deck. It's always valuable to have less cards in your deck. So if we look at the consumables here, okay, you know, a bit of a meme, we've played pairs a lot just because pairs are successful. Have we talked about, I'm pretty sure we talked about at some point, but you know, I don't know if you've seen all of the different gold stake videos, the reason why we play pairs. Why do we play pairs on the gold stakes? One reason we play pairs, because the blue stake is -1 discard. -1 discard makes it more difficult for us to get the higher ranking hands. That's it. It's just hard to get flushes. It's hard to get multiple flushes when I can just get multiple pairs. And if we look at the planet cards, so if we look at the planet cards here, comparing flushes to pairs here, there's a molt difference. Jupiter cards give you 2 molt, Mercury cards give you 1 molt. The molt difference doesn't matter. The reason why it doesn't matter is because you can get scaling plus molt. You can get red card, you can get bust, you can get green joker, you can get the uncommons like the flash card and the pants, and erosion works kind of. Anyway, the molt doesn't matter. What matters is the chips. Mercury cards 15 chips, Jupiter cards 15 chips. The first flush that you play is way more chips than a pair. And the first flush that you play is going to be way more points than a pair. But long term, when I have level 10 hands, when I have level 20 hands, pairs are equal to flushes in terms of chips. So you get the same number of points. If I get the same number of points, why would I go out of my way to play a flush when I could just play 4 pairs? Maybe. Also, if this is a problem, if this blue seal is this problem, this overpowered blue seal situation, then what is the hand that gets the most value out of the blue seals? Well, what's nice about playing, well, what's inconvenient about playing 5-card hands, let's say you draw the flush, let's say you have the 5 spades. Now, if I want to try to get the blue seal, I can only discard 3 at a time to find the blue seal. Or I have the blue seal, but I don't have my flush yet. So I have 4 spades plus a blue seal. If I don't discard the blue seal, I might not draw the flush. I might just lose. If I do draw the blue seal, I get the flush, but then I don't get any value from the blue seal. Compared to with pairs, you could just discard whatever. Just pick 5 cards and throw it away. Just discard everything every time, and eventually you will get the blue seal, and you will have a pair for free. You will always have a pair, always access to a pair. You could do the same thing. In theory, you could do it with high card, but the difference there, of course, the Mercury cards, you get 15 chips. Pluto, you get 10 chips. So you get 50% more chips, 50% more points. Playing pairs compared to high card, that's basically you get a polychrome card for free. You get times 1.5 mult for free compared to playing high card. It's not technically free. There is a tiny chance that you don't draw the pairs, but it's mostly free. And also when you do play pairs, you get to play an extra card. You get to score an extra card. You can play an extra lucky card. You can play an extra bonus card for extra chips compared to playing high card. You can get access to jokers that you wouldn't have access to when you're playing high card. For example, seeing double is a pretty good reason to play pairs. Seeing double is of course great even if you're playing 5-card hands like straights or full houses, 2 pair. Pretty good with seeing double, but pair is kind of like the minimum that you need to do seeing double. Also, there's the rare duo that gives you _2 for pairs. So the reason why you play pairs instead of high card is because pairs just score more points. They have more synergies. The reason why you play pairs instead of flushes is because it's just easier to draw pairs. It's easier to draw pairs. It's easier to get more value out of the blue seals. So in the theoretical future, when we do rebalance the blue seal, once we fix the blue seal, the hand that benefits the most from the blue seals right now is pairs. So any nerf to the blue seals, it'll hurt pairs the most, which is good because right now pairs are dominating. It's insane. What I want to see is I want to see this blue seal or this blue stake. I want to see this abolished. -1 discard. I want this gone. Take this away, then I can play flushes again. Then I can play straights again. Then I can play, you know, maybe 4 of a kind or flush houses more than none of the time. And that's fun. That sounds fun to me. Maybe even makes 2-pair easier than it is. We've also got for the, I mean, we could look at the planet cards here. I actually did play a decent number of straights here, flushes. So flushes and straights about even, I want to say. Flush houses way down here. This does not mean that we don't play flush houses very often. What this means is when we do play flush houses, we don't necessarily get a lot of planet cards compared to straights, because Saturn cards you can start taking in ante 1 and ante 2. You can take them very early, whereas with the flush house you don't get the planet cards until later. And one thing that I like to do is start out on flushes and on flush houses. And if I open a Celestial pack and I get the choice between a Jupiter card or a series card, sometimes even though I have series unlocked, I will still continue to take Jupiter cards because the flush house, the base score is already very high. So I don't actually need that many series cards in order to be successful. Like level 4 flush houses, that's good enough. Level 5 flush houses, that's good enough. What I need is something to help me in the early to mid game, a hand that I can play consistently. So keep leveling up flushes. Then in ante 7 and ante 8, just the last 2 antes, now the deck is constructed. Now the deck is to the point where I can actually consistently get the flush house. Now we start leveling up the flush house in the end game and not any time before that. For the tarot cards, Hermit you're going to take most of the time. Most of the time you just take the 20 bucks and then you use the 20 bucks for something else. Though something to keep in mind with the money here, what are you actually using the money on? Let's say you take the 20 bucks, what do you do with it? Most of the time what you're doing with the money is, well, I've already bought everything in the shop, so let's do some re-rolling. Let's, pay 5 bucks to re-roll, let's pay 6 bucks to re-roll. We just keep hitting the re-roll button until you're out of money, and then that's it. And if that's what you're going to be doing with the money, if you're just going to be re-rolling, then what are you re-rolling for? So in situations where your jokers are not necessarily great, but your jokers are good enough jokers, then I don't need that re-roll money. What I need my deck to be more consistent so that I can actually play the hands that I want to play. Even if it's just a pair, I want to draw a certain pair, or I want to draw my gold cards, I want to draw my blue seals. So oftentimes I will take the Hung Man over Hermit, remove 2 cards rather than 20 bucks here. And just like we said with the trading card, the first Hung Man that you do, going from 52 cards to 50 cards, not very much impact. Understandable, admittedly, okay. But the next one that you do, going from 50 cards to 48 cards, that's a bigger impact. And then going from 48 cards to 46 cards, that's another big jump. That's a huge jump. The way that I think about having however many cards are in the deck, I think about if I use maximum discards, discarding 5 cards at a time, if I play all of my hands playing 5 cards at a time, I get to redraw 5, redraw another 5, redraw another 5. I get to see this many cards. I get to see 20 cards per round. I get to see 30 cards per round. If I get to see 30 cards, then there's only 20 cards left that I don't see. And if I remove 2 from that, then now there's only 18 cards that I don't see. If I remove 2 from that, now there's only 16 cards that I don't see. And you want to get to the point where I get to see everything except for 10, except for 8. And then you can do whatever you want. If I know that I have enough aces, that I'm going to draw enough aces, then I can start throwing away aces, even in my opening hand, things like that. We've also got Death, Temperance, Fool. So most of the time you're going to be taking money. If you are playing pairs, maybe removing cards from the deck is not as important. Like, it's still useful being able to remove cards, and then that way you draw your gold cards and you draw your blue seals more consistently. But just like we demonstrated with the hologram and with the certificate, if you are playing just pairs, it's okay to add cards to the deck. If it's okay to add cards to the deck, then maybe it doesn't matter as much to remove cards from the deck. It's not that it doesn't matter, it just doesn't matter as much. And so maybe you're still going to take the money most of the time, especially early on. You're going to take the money. Like in Ante 1 or Ante 2, you take a $12 Temperance instead of a Hung Man. Probably you take the 12 bucks. In Ante 3, you might take the 20 bucks over the Hung Man. But once you have your jokers locked in, once I have good enough jokers, then I want deck building. Then I want consistency rather than just money. Money re-rolling for different jokers when my jokers are already good enough. Fool, you're going to use most of the time, either copying money or copying any of these good tarot cards here. Copying planet cards. I think copying planet cards can be very worthwhile. I think Mercury card, if you see it in the shop, it costs $3, but that's not necessarily how much it's worth. It could be worth more than that. If you open a Celestial pack, it doesn't guarantee to give you the planet card that you want. So maybe you have to open 2 or 3 Celestial packs before you get the planet card that you want, right? So actually, maybe it costs $8 to $12 to get a Mercury card. So maybe using a Fool to copy Mercury, maybe that's worth $8 to $12. And so maybe that's fine. When you do open Celestial packs, oftentimes I'll just skip extra planet cards so that I can keep my Fool chain. I can use Fools to copy the better tarot cards. If I get things like Hierophant or the Empress, I think it's worth it to just sell them. They are useful some of the time, but they're not useful all of the time. And so you use them when they're relevant and you skip them when they're irrelevant. And when you skip them, then that allows you to maintain the Fool chain, so the Fool can copy the better cards. I think between the Hung Man and the Death card, I think Death is important on the first couple uses. So if I have, like, I don't know, we didn't get it this time, but let's say I have this. Let's say I have this red glass card. That's not a good example because glass, you kind of just want to have more. But let's say it's a red steel card, right? Or a blue gold card. Let's say it's a blue gold card. You want to use death until you have maybe 3 or 4 in the deck. And then once you have 3 or 4 in the deck, that's enough, because you can only hold 2 in your hand at the same time, as far as like getting the blue seal value, or even these steel cards. You don't need that many in the deck. What you need is to remove the garbage. So what I like to do is, if given the choice, I would use death until I have 3 of whatever it is that I'm looking for, and then use the Hungman to remove everything else. And then 3 is enough. If your deck is small enough, 3 is enough. And Emperor, most of the time, we just take those looking for these better tarot cards. So if there's like 5 hits, right, and we open 2, there's 22 tarot cards total. So you have like, okay, if I open 2 tarot cards out of 22 total, that's like a 50% chance I hit one of these good ones. 50% chance, about. Gold cards are great. Magician is great for just getting these value generators. Being able to make money without taking up Joker slots is really important. Just being able to make money in general is important, but being able to make money without taking up Joker slots, because Joker slots are premium, right? I need Joker slots for X-Molt. I can't easily get X-Molt from my deck, but I can easily get money from my deck. And I think the easiest way to get money from the deck is with the gold cards. And maybe lucky cards are a close second. Lucky cards also randomly give you points if you need that, but you shouldn't rely on that. You should try not to rely on that. Yeah, gold cards, if I do open a, let's say a standard pack, I will take gold cards from standard packs. I will take money from standard packs. I think that contributes to being successful. Wheel is kind of like a celestial pack. It has a chance of helping you. Celestial packs have a chance of helping you. The benefit of the wheel is if it does hit, it benefits every hand. Every hand gets plus 50 chips. Every hand gets plus 10 molt. These things are worth more early and become less important later on, but maybe foil is really important, because the plus molt is easy to get plus molt. Getting the early chips then gives you a lot of security if you get the plus 50 chips. So when I spin the wheel, most of the time what I'm hoping for is foil. If the Wheel of Fortune hits, or if you use Spectral for, let's say, Aura, it's half of the time you get chips, a third of the time you get molt, and then a sixth of the time you get polychrome. Usually I'm hoping for foil. Usually. When I say, use the wheel and try to get foil, that's not ironic. That's actually what I'm hoping for. Spectral packs, immolate, basically always do it unless you have a reason not to. Basically that's it. You can't argue with 20 bucks. Also, removing cards from the deck is great. Some people worry about, if I use immolate, I might remove an important card from the deck. Don't worry about that so much most of the time, because even if you remove, let's say, one of your kings from the deck, you still have other kings in the deck. And if you have less cards in your deck in general, you will draw those other kings more often. And those other kings, now if I turn one into, I don't know, turn one into gold, I will get that gold card more often. That gold card will serve the purpose of 2 gold cards, because I draw it twice as often, or something like that, if I remove cards from the deck. Hex is up here mostly because we play on the ghost deck sometimes. In the ghost deck, you start with the Hex. Maybe Hex is more kind of down here, I would say. Probably Ectoplasm before Hex. One thing that is nice about playing on the higher stakes, you get these Eternal Jokers. Eternal Jokers can't be destroyed when you use Hex. And so what you can think about is, if this Joker doesn't have an addition on it, but let's say my other Jokers do have additions on it, then I know Hex will try to put the polychrome on the photograph. That's how it works, by the way. It tries to apply polychrome to a random Joker. And if you have Jokers that already have additions, then you know that those Jokers can't be targeted. And once it applies the polychrome, then it destroys the other ones. So you can use Hex even if you don't have Eternal Jokers. Kinda. You can kind of plan around it a little bit, maybe. So like a mix, some eternal, some non-eternal. It's still okay to use hex sometimes. I think just having, it's not just that you have the X mold, it's not just that you have the times 1.5, but it's the fact that you have more points condensed into less space, condensed into less Joker slots. The extra polychrome, if you can make it work, the extra polychrome is kind of like ectoplasm. It's kind of like gaining an extra Joker slot. So sometimes it's worth selling a Joker. Short term, you lose points by selling a Joker, but then long term, you free up space and you can fill in that space later. Gold seal and blue seal. I would say, of course, blue seal is more powerful than the gold seal, but basically, these are the ones that I take. If I open a spectral pack, these are the ones that I take. Gold seals are very powerful. Gold seal is like the better version of a gold card, where you can only hold on to 2 or 3 gold cards per round, but gold seals, you can play as many as you have. If you draw them, you can play them. Aura, mostly looking for foil, but mostly irrelevant. If you are playing, let's say, pairs, then if you're playing pairs, you're playing a lot of hands, and so having the extra bonus card or whatever for the one hand probably doesn't matter as much if you have 4 hands that you're playing. If you're playing straights, let's say, then whatever enhancement that you get from Aura doesn't matter that much, because you will have the Saturn cards, you'll have the leveled up straights to where this doesn't matter. So this is not preferential. This is, we don't want to get the Aura, but sometimes we'll take that if there's other stuff that's bad. I think most of the time the spectral cards that add cards to the deck are bad, but not completely useless, just bad in general. I think early on, if I know that I'm probably going to end on pairs, then I will take an early incantation. I will take an early familiar. Why? Because I have a chance of getting lucky cards. I have a chance of getting gold cards. I have a chance of getting a money generator. Or even if you don't, you do potentially get a little bit of extra points or something like that. Ouija's really terrible. Minus hand size. Ectoplasm, I think most of the time you don't want this. Most of the time the extra Joker slot is not worth it for the minus hand size. But there are, because like, if you're playing on the gold stake, you cycle through Jokers all the time. You know, there's some good ones, there's some bad ones. You're always replacing, you're always upgrading. Oh, this, I take it and it's good enough for a while, but then I find something better, I replace it. So all common Jokers are perishable. On the gold stake, all common Jokers are perishable, in my opinion. Maybe with some exceptions, like maybe some minor exceptions. Scaling plus molt. Even scaling plus molt can be perishable in the sense that if I'm not just playing pairs, if I'm playing these higher ranking hands with higher base molt, and maybe I get a glass card or a steel card, then now my 60 molt red card looks bad. Things like Chad could potentially fall off later, maybe. Anyway, what was I saying? It's late. It's getting late. Oh, I was saying, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, gold stake, common Jokers are perishable. Don't get too attached to them. Swap them out all the time. Swap out your Jokers all the time. All right, that's it. 30 win streak, gold stake. Keep playing until we lose. Take care, everyone.